Have you ever wondered why some people seem unemotional and detached? Let's dive into this fascinating aspect of human personality. An unemotional personality isn't a disorder, it's a trait, a unique way in which some individuals interact with the world around them. These individuals often exhibit emotional detachment, indifference, and a noticeable lack of expressiveness. Now you might be thinking, what causes someone to be unemotional? Well, the answer isn't straightforward. It could be the result of various factors. Perhaps it's a reflection of their upbringing, or maybe it's influenced by their personal experiences. Sometimes it's merely their inherent nature. It's important to remember that being unemotional doesn't equate to being uncaring or unkind. It's simply a different way of processing and expressing emotions. So, understanding this, can an unemotional person change? Let's explore this next. What makes a person unemotional? Is it nature or nurture? This question takes us to the heart of a fascinating debate. Firstly, let's consider the genetic factors. Some research suggests that our capacity for emotion, or lack thereof, could be written in our DNA. Just as some of us are born with blue eyes or a talent for music, we may inherit a predisposition for an unemotional demeanor. Secondly, upbringing can play a significant role. Those raised in environments where emotions are seldom expressed or even discouraged may grow up to be more unemotional. Thirdly, life experiences can shape our emotional landscape. Traumatic events can sometimes cause individuals to become more guarded and thus appear unemotional. It's also worth noting the difference between being unemotional and suppressing emotions. The former refers to a lack of emotional response, while the latter is about consciously holding back feelings. Now that we know the factors, it's time to answer the question, can an unemotional person change? Change is a part of life, but can it apply to an unemotional personality? A question that rings in many minds. While it's true that inherent personality traits are more resistant to change, it's important to remember that behavior and responses are not set in stone. They can be cultivated and modified over time. Think of it like a garden. You may have a certain type of soil, but with the right care and attention, you can grow a variety of plants. Similarly, an unemotional person can learn to display and experience emotions in a more pronounced way. Therapy plays a pivotal role in this change. A skilled therapist can provide the tools and techniques necessary to navigate the emotional landscape. Meanwhile, a conscious effort from the individual is crucial as well. So, while it may not be a walk in the park, change is indeed possible for unemotional people. But what does it mean to be in a relationship with an unemotional person? Imagine being in a relationship with someone who rarely expresses emotions. What would that be like? It's a question many of us might find ourselves pondering. The challenges of such a partnership can be significant. Navigating emotional terrain with someone who doesn't readily share their feelings can feel like trying to read a book with no words. It requires a different approach, one that involves patience, understanding, and often a little detective work. But it's not all uphill. Relationships with unemotional individuals can also bring about unique benefits. There's a certain tranquility in their steady demeanor. The emotional roller coaster that characterizes many relationships is notably absent. Tensions and conflicts that arise from emotional volatility are less frequent, creating a more stable and predictable environment. It's important to remember, however, that understanding unemotional people is not a sprint, but a marathon. It requires consistent effort and a generous amount of patience. But the rewards can be worth it. Understanding unemotional people can be a complex task, but with patience and effort, it is achievable. So, what have we learned about unemotional individuals today? We've delved into the realm of unemotional personality, shedding light on a disposition that is often misunderstood. We've seen that unemotional personality isn't about lacking feelings, but about experiencing and expressing them differently. Factors like genetics, upbringing, and personal experiences can all contribute to this personality type. It's not a choice, but a part of one's intrinsic self, just like any other personality trait. We also explored the potential for change. While an unemotional person can learn to express emotions in a more conventional way, it's important to remember that this doesn't define their worth or capacity for empathy. We touched on relationships with unemotional individuals, highlighting the need for understanding, communication, and acceptance. These relationships can be just as fulfilling and meaningful, albeit in a different way. Remember, Everyone's emotions and personalities are unique, and understanding them is the first step towards acceptance and growth.